Alright guys, so this will be a review of the Liebherr LTM 11200-9.1. It's produced by NZG in 1/50th scale. It retails anywhere from $4.99 to $5.49 for the crane alone. Shown right here, it does not have the boom, it just has the carrier, which you will see it travel like this all the time, since the boom is too heavy for it. I have to say is, I ordered this model a week and a half ago from a very well-known retailer, and it's already out of stock. And this happens a lot with this crane, so if you are looking to get one, do not hesitate on getting one, because it's a wonderful model. And secondly, they do not stay in stock for very long at all at really most popular retailers. So to get started here, I'm just going to show you a little functions of the carrier. One thing that I have to say that they did a great job with is the suspension on the carrier. And if you notice, if you put a little weight on it, the spring-loaded axles will actually work like the real thing would. And I'll show you the close-up of that right here. If you notice, you push down on it, and they actually do work. And even if you pull up on it, you can see the weight of the carrier will push the axles down. Another good thing about it is each axle is individually linked. So, like you see on a lot of crane models, if you turn one wheel, the other ones will follow. You could turn each one individually and even fishtail it. So that's a very good plus, and if you're good at turning your axles appropriately, it does have a very nice turn radius, and obviously the wheels do turn very nicely as well. The outriggers fold out, and this goes for the other side as well, and then they also pull out. And one thing I have to say about this crane is the outrigger base. They're huge, and that's really why it can hold up so much. And then they push back in, and they're very smooth, even to pull them out on cylinders, and you'll see that once I get to the detail part. Cylinders move together, they are linked, and if we turn the whole crane, here is the cab side if you're driving, and since it would be too wide, this actually pulls out on this arm and it'll go like that when it is in operation. But if you have to get in or out of the cab, it'll actually come down to the ground, and then once the operator gets in, it will push up. And the good thing about it is that you can see the cab will stay level regardless, unless you tilt up to see your load. And then the cab will swivel and whatnot, and it's, I don't know why it swivels like that, but maybe to get down or whatever, but that's also a very cool feature. And last but not least, the more obvious thing is that this rotates at 360, and there's what it looks like that. To bring the boom into the review, and I don't have the boom on it because I figured I would show it with just about every possibility possible. And to bring the boom into the review, I actually have it on one of my SPMT trailers. I do acknowledge the fact that there are special trailers for this, like the WSI boom trailer, but I cannot find one. I was told to look on the WSI website. I checked there. It doesn't show that they have it. So this is how I transport mine. I know it's not the most practical thing and probably not the fastest way, but I just put it there for the review. It looks good with all the axles. One thing I have to say about the boom is it is extremely heavy. So to get it off the trailer and to actually show you the features of it, so here's the boom. If I just count these real quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like it has 7 telescopic sections. Then they all come out. the biggest feature of this boom is the simple fact that half of the boom will actually come out. And what I mean by that is you could take these sections completely out, and then it gives you this right here, and you could add the heavy lift tip, or you can add the luffing jib, and I have added both. And it does take a lot of weight off the model, because right here is probably maybe 3 pounds, and it doesn't seem like much, but on a small 1/50th scale model, if you would like to lift a load, that is a lot of weight. Each section comes out very smoothly. Some come out a little rougher than others. Like this one sometimes takes a little force to pull out, and this one is probably the worst, but for the most part they're very smooth. If you notice, I have my Y guys off for the super lift. I think it looks a lot better like that. And if we come to the other smaller boom head, which would be for like the long reach, each section also comes out and then they click into place. So if you want to click them into place, you only get this much. You can't do it like midway or anything. You can modify it, but they won't do that. And it does have metal sheaves, which is a very big plus. In the detail part, I will show you the heavy lift tip for this, and then I'll have a separate review for the detail. So to show this on the crane, which is what I will do right now, it's a very large piece. So it simply just mounts on the crane like this. I won't bolt it in or anything, but it simply just mounts right on the crane like that. And that's what it looks like with the boom on it. And you could tell it is quite a beast. Now what I'll do is show you the counterweights and features of those. So here's the counterweights of the crane, and there are 12 counterweights in total. And there's 2 separate spots per side for them, and they simply just go on like that. Sometimes you can see they don't go in correctly, but for the most part they go in perfectly, and they go in like that, and the other side is the same. The way that they mount onto the crane, and the reason why I'm not showing you me mounting them is because I'm going to make an assembly video as well, so that would kind of take away from this. But they simply go into the crane right here, or about right there. It's kind of hard to tell. They go on right there, and then they look like this. And in the detail part of the review, and pretty much every part after this, I will show the crane fully assembled, and they go on right there. But before you put your counterweights on, you need to pull out your outriggers, and I should have showed this before, and I'm sorry that I didn't. But the outriggers screw down. They do take a little while to get down, but they do screw down, and then they give you the pad for it, and it bolts on right there with a pin. But they also give you a metal plate, and that will lock right onto the plate with little tabs, and go in just like that. So I hope that covers some of the functions. I know I didn't show the drums or anything, but I'm going to show that more in the detail part, since the boom isn't on or anything. But I hope you enjoyed this part of the review. There's going to be a decent amount of parts. Like I said, there's just so much to go through. The next part is going to be the detail of it, and then I'll go on to the luffer, and then I'll do a final conclusion. So hope you enjoyed this part, and the next part will probably be up in either a few days or a week. I'm not too sure, but thank you for watching this part.